about it here, Big V, which me and Matt touched on yesterday on the show, was we have Jeff Jarrett. We all know about the Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle situation. And we have Jeff Jarrett, who is, he's got some shares in that company, and he's currently suspended. And this is it's a personal issue between Jeff and Karen. No cops, no courts or anything like that are involved. And then we had the TNA Hard Justice pay-per-view. The big Angle story broke on Saturday. This all went down Saturday morning. And, you've got Kurt Angle as your TNA World Champion. So if there was one place that you were going to, take the title off of him, if they were going to, punish him or send him home or do what they were going to do, they would have done it at the Hard Justice pay-per-view on Sunday night. And I think that, is it really, the way we talked about it yesterday, is it really fair that Jeff Jarrett, who's involved in a personal situation, is suspended from the company, where Kurt Angle, who was just basically arrested on Sunday morning with HGH and abuse photos that are apparently out there and this and that, and the guy is still TNA World Champion, and he's still appearing on your TV tapings this week. So you've got a personal problem, a personal issue where a guy is suspended from the company, and then you've got a guy that was just arrested and is still your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. You know what I mean? There's not going to be any sort of punishment for him,
Well, let me put it to you in this way. Maybe you guys can understand this. You're the owner of a company. You have to lead by example.
Right.
You don't go out with one of the guy's wives.
Yeah, but you're also the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
No. Listen
to represent a company.
We're gonna take it from where it's come. If you own the company, you don't date one of the talent.
So what does that say? What about like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon? Tell us that. No, I'm not arguing. I'm asking for the difference between that situation and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon didn't own the company back then.
Yeah, but she's a key writer. She's the top writer.
She worked for her father. Now, as she got older, she's in a place of power. Jeff Jarrett leads by example. He should not. You can't tell people what to do, but leading by example. You can't date somebody's wife, especially one of the top guys' wives.
Anybody,
and expect not to be noticed. But then when you have a move in the house, that's bad.
You're asking for trouble, yeah.
As far as being the heavyweight champion and all that, it would have been obvious as hell for them to take that title off the Angle on the pay-per-view. Would have been obvious as hell, would have threw a wrench in it. They will do it in time. But to yank it off him because of something that happened and have the girl who was involved with it still working for the company, that is not going to happen either.
I would say right now where the media...
I say he should have been suspended, and if he's suspended, they got to get the title off him anyway, and that was the person to do it. He should have had the title taken, and he should have been suspended. That's too many offenses and too many serious... listen to what we're talking about. We're talking about drugs. We're talking about domestic abuse. We're talking about violating. We're talking about suspended life. This is some bad shit, man. That's too much.
But guys, there's always two sides to every story, and you just go on by what you see and what you read.
Right, but
he definitely had a suspended license. They ran it; it was suspended. He definitely had HGH without a prescription, which he might be able to produce a prescription. But those two, you can't. There's no denying those two.
Not only that, but the media is hot. You've got your TMZs and your Associated Press articles that are all referring to him as TNA World Heavyweight Champion. This is gonna. When the court date passes, this is obviously gonna die off like any other story. But right now,
the media coverage will die down. Yeah.
Right now, while it's hot, this is not the guy that you want representing your company as your TNA World Champion. This is just my opinion. It's not the guy that you want representing.
I just think it sets a bad example. Like Big V was talking about leading by example. This sets a bad example by not taking action against him in any way at all. You can stand by your guy and say, hey, we believe in Kurt Angle, but like I said, some of those offenses are you can't debate them. They are what they are. And
you can't bury somebody and nail them to the cross in one day either, unless you both sides of the story. So,
but they didn't even start it at the taping. They're going on like nothing happened so far.
No,
as far as creative
talent was told in a meeting backstage at Bar Justice to not even mention the Angle situation. So it's almost like they just want to let this fly.
They hope it goes away, obviously, yeah. But
this involves courts and police and cops and arrest warrants and this and that. Whereas
media, yeah.
The Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle situation, I know the guy's part owner of the company, but this is a personal situation. This doesn't involve drugs. This doesn't involve abuse photos and things of that. And, I mean, Kurt Angle is. I mean, if you were to compare the two, both situations, I mean, Kurt Angle is in a league of his own, well above the Jarrett situation.
I mean, they both suck, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they did something that they suspended Jeff Jarrett, and they did nothing to Angle, and to me, that just seems, it doesn't seem right, man. I mean, something should have happened to Angle, and nothing has, and Vito says don't rush it and just bombard him and bury him in one day, but they're not even taking the steps to even start. I mean, as far as creative plans, the plan in TNA right now is to just brush it under the rug and hope people forget.
Guys,
it goes away.
When something like this happens, they tell all talent, do not mention this, do not give an interview, do not say anything, because you cannot. And if you say the wrong thing, it could hurt everybody in the company. That's why they tell you not to talk about things. As far as them taking action, I'm sure they will take appropriate action when it is necessary. Unless he's convicted or unless they find out both sides of the story, it's a he said, she said thing, so you can't really bury the guy.
When would they take action? They're taping 3 weeks of TV or 4 weeks of TV this week, so your next 4 weeks leading into your next pay-per-view are already taped. So when are they going to take action?
When is it appropriate would be the question, probably. I mean, if they're not going to, yeah.
Well, if he makes an appearance at the pay-per-view and he drops the strap then you know what happened. I mean, you can't do it on the same day, but 3 weeks of taping, if he's got a championship match, whoever he's wrestling at the pay-per-view, bet dollars to donuts they're going to be new champion.
When the media has died down by that point, I mean, 4 weeks from now.
Well, no, it'll pick back up because the hearing.
Well, with the court date, yeah, without a doubt, with the court date, and when he has to go.
Right, and that's when he'll be announced as former TNA World Champion, former WWE.
I mean, I agree that that's what they're going to do, but I still think they should have did it. I don't know. I think they should have did it sooner.
Now, if he's announced as a former champion in 4 weeks from now at the pay-per-view, I mean that's not a suspension. I mean that's keeping him on TV for 4 straight weeks.
Well, I mean they could be holding off the suspension until they hear if he's found guilty or not.
Yeah, until they hear if he's guilty or not. That's true. They could go that route.
You can't bury somebody because you got to be proven guilty. And I can tell you better than anybody, unless you're proven guilty, it's a bunch of hearsay. And if you can get yourself out of something and it's not true and there's always two sides to every story, I'm telling you, you got to just give the benefit of the doubt right now.
Here's a completely unrelated question. Do you think O.J. Simpson was innocent or guilty?
Well, the glove didn't fit.
So you must have quit? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, the glove didn't fit, and the whole thing, and leading up during the trial. Nah, I don't think he did it.
Wow.
Afterwards, after watching him, he was a good actor, but in the end, he got it to where he's spending the rest of his life in jail.
Yeah, but that